Hey parents, I want you to protect yourselves, especially if you're still in the workforce and you are gainfully employed and you rely on your job to survive. Now, I'm not going to kind of say you should go about it the wrong way, but if you're the type where you have an opinion and you may not be politically correct at times, this advice might really help you. So years ago, I was gainfully employed for the city in my area, and it was a big city. And so I worked within a couple of different departments and settled in at a health center. And lo and behold, within a short amount of time, just prior to that, I had lost my father. He had passed away. My children disconnected. I lost my house, and I have been downsized from a different position. So it was pretty rough. But anyways, I picked myself up and I went to work, and my workload was fairly light. I was primarily reception and entering all of the test results for a certain aspect of life. And then I would do backup for other people that needed help. But I typed 80 words a minute. And I was on MySpace or Facebook or whatever. And there were times at work I was really bored. So I started these groups on Facebook. And then in my spare time, I would log into my Gmail account outside of my work account. And, I chit-chat with people in my life, and lo and behold, I was on a roll. I was on social media basically all day long, I'll admit it. And although we had all signed a disclosure that it was to be for breaks and such, or lunch and etc., I didn't really adhere. So anyways, someone who did not like me ended up reporting me to my HR department. And I was called into an office meeting with my boss and someone in HR, and they asked, how often are you on the internet? And I said, I don't really keep track. And they said, we're going to need you to sign this form again so you can adhere to the rules. And I said, okay, fine, whatever. So I was really struggling with everything I had been going through, and social media was my outlet. It helped keep me calm during the day because I could vent and so etc. And then I was told from my boss that I was going to be meeting with HR yet again, and they called me in and they said, how often are you on the internet? I said, I don't really know. And the HR person pulled out 3 huge binders of my social media activity, along with personal emails from my Gmail account to the person I had been dating at the time. And let's just say they were kind of risque. So I said, well, one of these, and then I ended up getting fired. And I'll admit, I was totally wrong, but I just the way it was. And so be very, very careful when you're on the internet, because if you are gainfully employed, if someone doesn't like you, they'll take screenshots, they'll save your videos, they'll say she was on here, this and that. And when your employer puts a tracking device on your work computer, there's not much you can do. So anyways, I lost that job. I picked myself up, and then I went to work for someone else, and then so on and so forth. But I'll be the first to admit, was I wrong? Absolutely. Did I deserve that job? Well, I was really good at it. But to be honest, it was pretty boring. That's all I've got. Protect yourself, and I will be back.